Hi, this is Greg McCoach, editor of the Mining Speculator. We're here today in Vancouver, Canada at the Metals Investor Forum with Empress Royalty Corp. CEO Alexandra Sherron is the CEO of the company. Welcome to the interview.
Thank you so much for having me, Greg.
Yeah, so we had a good presentation. I think your presentation was well received by the general audience because of the question and answers session we just did, and I think people really responded. So a great model, as my subscribers know. I love the royalty model. I think it's the best way to invest in this kind of junior mining sector that we're experiencing. You know, it's very volatile. It's been down mostly, and exploration stocks, pure exploration gets hard to fund in this kind of market, whereas royalty just steady. It's a much better model, I think. And I highly recommend it to anybody who's considering investing, whether they're my subscribers or new people I meet. So in your presentation, you clearly showed that your company is well on track to bring in revenue. And immediately this year and next year, it increases to 10 million. What do you see moving forward? Is the company, it seems like the team is so well heeled. You're very strong in acquisition and implementation of the projects you're involved with.
Yeah, so our team comes from a mining finance background. I'm an ex-investment banker in debt finance, working with Endeavor Financial, who are one of the leading investment banking firms. So we really saw in the market that the streaming companies that were providing financing to get mines into production were doing $100 million size transactions, and that there was no one really providing that same financing option to the smaller side of the market. And that's why we established Empress. We know that there's tons of companies that need this financing, whether they're private and they don't have access to the equity markets, or they don't want to take on debt, or whether it's a public company, a bit of debt, a bit of equity. There's a gap, especially with increased costs of construction, and we can provide that financing for them.
Yeah, and within a very short period of time, you've developed a really robust portfolio. I mean, to your credit, hats off. That's impressive.
No, thank you so much. And I've got an amazing team that I work with, but we took this from 13 exploration royalties as part of our direct listing. We layered in 3 development assets and 1 producing asset, invested 19.5 into the portfolio US. And we've turned that into bringing in revenue now of $7 million this year. 2 of those development assets have just gotten into production.
Right.
As you're saying, $10 million next year. That's $54 million over the next 5 years. And that's if we did nothing else.
Yeah. So what's next for the company? Where are you going to go with this?
So we want to continue to repeat and bring in similar investments we've done to date. I've just got exclusivity on 2 deals in Africa. One's for $7.5 million, one's for $5 million. Both are being structured as a gold stream. And when I say exclusivity, it means we've negotiated, we've done our desktop review, negotiated a term sheet, and now we're at advanced stage due diligence. We've had some guys out at site on one of them, got a technical report back, and it's looking good. And then we're just about to go to site another week or 2 and look at the other one. So those 2 assets, because they're already in production, will bring them even further revenue into Empress. We're helping them ramp up, similar to we did to Sierra, which will bring further revenue into Empress.
Right, and you just have that financial backing that is so critical in these types of situations. That's what I think makes your model so successful, not just royalty, but you have the financial partners to make this work in an amazing way. Yeah.
No, thank you. And we have the $10 million facility available to us now, but we're looking at restructuring the debt so that we can use the capital we have coming in from our current investments with that debt to fund these new acquisitions.
Wow, what a model. That's really good. So also, I think the question came up, you're just precious metals focused. You don't do any kind of base metal, just gold and silver.
Pure gold and silver. That's all we're looking at. We are global, so we're looking at opportunities in different places and able to get great returns as a result. And that's very much our focus, is just being pure precious metals.
Yeah. And I always like to tell people, because when a lot of people are new to the royalty model, they don't really fully understand it. They understand the benchmarks in gold and silver. We're trying to hit 100 million ounces of silver. That usually leads to a buyout once you've discovered 100 million ounces of good grade, economic, and 2 million ounces of gold. For a royalty model, it's 50 million in revenue a year. And I could see with what you're doing, what you've already accomplished in such a short period of time. And you're trading for 33 cents, right?
Yeah, I know.
this is an opportunity.
Yeah, and again, that's if we did nothing else, and there's so much more we want to do and grow it out.
That's right.
And I love the royalty and streaming model, but especially the streaming model, because we're getting gold credits, we're getting silver credits straight from the
Right.
refineries. So we really are leveraged to gold and silver.
Yeah, and just for explanation to
Yeah.
people who may be new,
Yeah.
explain the difference between royalty and streaming.
So a royalty is where we invest in a company and we receive a percentage of the revenue at the top line, and we get those royalty payments. A stream is where we invest in a company and we're able to receive gold or silver at a discounted price. So I'm paying 80% discount or a 20% spot price on that.
Right, right. So the combination, I think, is even better
Yeah.
than just a pure royalty play where you're getting an NSR on a project that's producing. So
Yeah.
no, it's an excellent model. So, well, with that, do you want to cover anything else before we come to a close, or?
No, I think we're just on the path to rapid growth. We've had, as I said, the development assets are just starting to ramp up and get into production now.
Yeah.
And with that comes the critical revenue that's going to be coming in this year. And, as a royalty company, we're really able to keep our G&A and our costs low. Our G&A is about $1.7 million US, and with $7 million this year, we can use that capital to redeploy into the portfolio. And then hopefully by the end of 2024, with all of that building up, we can get to a point where we're establishing a dividend policy.
Boy, that's as good as it gets. So,
Thank you.
no, I'm very impressed by what you've been able to do, and the opportunity at the current price is outstanding. For investors, I just, take a look, because this could easily revalue to a much higher price very quickly, especially if gold and silver takes off.
Yeah.
So buy low, sell high. That's how you make big money. So, Alexandra,
Thank you so
a
much.
pleasure.
Pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.